Hey everybody! Welcome to the Kulture OverDrive podcast. I'm Stephanie.
I'm Grant.
And this week we are going to be talking about Heartthrobs and Hotties.
Yeah.
Yes, all of our celebrity crushes from the 90s, 2000s, and today.
For sure. Nothing wrong with that. So, we appreciate you guys
I can't see your eyes.
Sticking with us and every good thing like that, and hope you guys enjoy this show. So first thing we're going to talk about are the wall-worthy crushes. The ones we used to put up on our walls and stuff like that. I'm going to let you take the reins on this one first.
I'm boring. Like, I had Hanson. As far as my crushes, you know, I had kind of a one-track mind when it came to that. I mean, I had Hanson, and then I had Britney and Christina and Destiny's Child. I had my crushes, and then I had, like, the girls that I looked up to and wanted to be like. But I at one point, have my walls wallpapered in Hanson.
Okay.
Out of all the Bop and the Tiger Beat magazines out there. I begged for every issue that they were in. And they were in pretty much all of them back in the day, so I had a pile of them.
Tracks.
You know. I think JTT was up there too. I think I might have had a couple of him.
Okay.
So yeah, he gets an honorable mention.
Yeah.
So who did you have?
Oh boy. That's a very good question, because I never really had like a female like crushes on my wall. I was more of like the typical guy. Like, I just had sports and I had my wrestling and stuff on my, so I never really had crushes on my wall like growing up.
You didn't have like models or
No,
you didn't have like Pamela Anderson with her beer or anything?
No, not at all. Like I said, I was just that stereotypical guy. Like, now, of course, if I had a chance to, it would be different. You know, I would throw some Carrie Underwood up there, some, Sabrina Carpenter.
You've got Sabrina Carpenter.
Pink. There's always a lot.
That's the one person we don't have. We need to get a Pink poster.
I got a lot. I got a lot of names. This is the Shanties. I got the Christina Milian's.
About her.
Megan Fox. Jennifer Aniston. There's a lot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But if I would have to say, moving on, like segue into the next segment, actually, if I had to say a crush that kind of defined me, I would have to say it would be Elvira, between her and Pamela Anderson.
Okay.
For two obvious reasons.
Yeah, well, I figured. Well, then what about Dolly Parton?
No.
She's got two good reasons.
That's fine. Good for her. Shout out to you, Dolly. But,
I love Dolly.
You you have some... Yeah. How about you?
Okay. Zach Hanson is like the crush of my lifetime. Joshua Jackson. JTT, like I mentioned. Ryder Strong from Boy Meets World. I was always a Sean girl. Yeah, pretty much those few. And the Lawrence brothers, obviously. I was always a Matt girl. Now as an adult, I'm more into Andy. He's closer to my age, but yeah, I was a Matt girl back in the 90s.
Okay.
Well, it goes back to the Boy Meets World thing too, I guess. Him and Ryder Strong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my two good reasons for watching Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. What about so as far as like actresses and everybody goes, is there like a certain role in a certain movie that made you see an actress in a different light.
Oh,
shall we say?
Yeah, for sure. First one come to mind is Get Over It with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston.
Mm-hmm.
Her in that movie, like I knew who she was, but I never really paid a lot of attention to her.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my gosh, she was gorgeous in that movie.
She is gorgeous.
Like, oh my god, like I was just like her, because it was like her and oh my god, I can't think of the other girl that was the actress in that movie. I know she's like, is it Brooke? No, I don't think her name is Brooke. I can't remember. I'm sorry. But yes, she was gorgeous too, but it was like Jennifer Aniston just had that natural, like, authentic kind of like girl next door beauty to her in that movie. And I was like, man, trying to think of another good one on top of my head. That one just popped in my head, obviously. Wow, that's really that's sad. That's all I can really think of off the top of my head right now.
That's fine. It's still an answer.
I mean, like I say, there's always, like I said, go back to Elvira, but I never watched the movie or nothing with her in it, so
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much, that's all I could think of at this moment.
Ironically enough, mine kind of goes along with yours, just a different movie. Adam Sandler in The Wedding Singer.
Okay.
When he played Robbie Hart. I always, you see him as like this funny guy or whatever, but he was really hot in that movie. I don't know, the curly hair and the singing, just kind of did something.
Hey, okay.
It's one of those unexpected things where like you know who the person is and everything, but then you see them in a certain role and it just makes you, it like changes your view of them, the way you see them. So yeah, it would be him in The Wedding Singer for me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. What
that.
about did you ever pretend any celebrities were your girlfriend? Did you ever like sit there and like just zone out? Daydream?
No.
No?
No. Like I say, I was just different, like, growing up. Like, I didn't really... No, like, I really didn't. Like, I thought girls was hot, but I never, like, fantasized or thought about them in that kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, unfortunately. Sorry, people, but just being honest, no.
That's okay. I did with Ryder Strong, but in character as Sean Hunter.
Okay.
That probably explains a lot about me, but yeah, I don't know. He's iconic.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who are, some of your crushes that you feel like still got it?
Oh, Joshua Jackson.
Okay.
Always. He is aged like a fine wine, and he will continue to. I'm fully confident in that. Something about just the way he carries himself and his voice. Just his speaking voice. I've only heard him sing a couple times, and I don't think he was like, it was more for fun, I think, on the show, not just taking it seriously or whatever, but just his speaking voice. Something about him. And he just, I don't know, he's just aging gorgeously.
Yeah. Like I said, for that one, I got quite a few who's aged pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Jennifer Aniston is one. She
basically doesn't age.
No. Oh my God. Christina Aguilera.
Mm-hmm.
She's one that has really well. Oh my God. What is that? Ah, man. I'm drawing the blank. I just seen her this morning, too. Oh, my God. This is ridiculous. Oh, Selma. Was it Selma Hayek?
Yeah. Oh, she was always beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Like, she's another one. Mel B from the Spice Girls. Oh, man. Let's see. Ashanti is another one. She's, aged. Like I said, there is quite a few of them that has, aged pretty well. Not say, I mean, there's a lot more. Them just like spitfire answers. Shout out to everybody aging gracefully. Still looking that beautiful as ever. Shout out to genetics. There we go. Yep.
Genetics and good skincare.
Yeah. And money.
I was gonna say amongst other things. Yeah. No, I wasn't gonna say it directly, but yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any weird crushes?
I have one that a lot of people considered weird. They told me I was weird for having this crush. Jack Osbourne.
Okay.
Before he started working out and taking care of himself, like before he went on his health journey. I had a crush on him back when he was the ass-kicking fat kid on the Osbournes. His words, which came from a song, but yeah, I liked him back then.
Okay.
And people thought I was nuts, but I didn't care. There's something about him. Shout out to Jack Osbourne.
Yeah.
For being unique. How about you?
Yeah, I think I can't think of none. Like, I think all of mine is pretty much like, but I think one that probably would throw people off. I kind of feel like that, and I ain't gonna say it's weird for most people's standards, but I think when I tell people like how hot or like I am with Carrie Underwood, I don't know if it just, like I said, I wouldn't say it's weird, but I don't think people would expect it coming from a guy like me, probably. I don't know. But it like, she's just, and it's weird because when she was on American Idol, like I thought she wasn't ugly, but I didn't find her like overly hot. Like I thought she was cute. But it's like after she won the show and I started seeing her more. And like, and for me, it wasn't even just like her looks. It's like even like musically, vocally, she got so much better after the show. I think it was just like the complete package that just really, I was just like, man, like she is freaking hot. Like, I'm like, okay. I ain't gonna go so far as, like I got a buddy of mine, I'm gonna leave him nameless, talking about drinking people's bath water and stuff. I ain't gonna go that dang far, schnocky. But yeah, But she's, she's done amazing, but shout out to Carrie. Shout out to Jack Osbourne. Well, all the Osbournes, actually.
All the Osbournes. I mean, Kelly was my style icon, too, so. And Ozzy. Ozzy's the man.
Ozzy, yeah.
And Sharon Osbourne is just, she is an angel on this earth. Sharon is an angel. God bless you, Sharon.
Yeah, it was Sharon. So, I'm sorry. Last week we actually forgot to do our segments.
We're still getting into our groove of everything, and it's the first episode that we filmed, so we were kind of finding our flow.
Yep. So this week we're going to bring them back, and we're going to let you know what's on our brain and in our spotlight. So I'm gonna kick it off with
what's on Grant's brain.
Yep. My brain, man. Ooh, that's a dangerous thing sometimes to say what's on my brain, but, But yay, Kanye West. So the other day I didn't even know that Donda 2 was like out on streaming services. Like I kept hearing about it, was going to drop. But I happened to look it up the other day and it was there. And I actually enjoyed it. Like, that was a really good album. I'm kind of upset because Spotify deleted like 3 or 4 of the songs that was there. And then when I did research on it, those same 3 or 4 songs, they released it, they took it off, then they brought it back, and then they took it off again. So I don't know what the ordeal is with those songs. Which sucks because they were great songs. But there's still some good, like I would, honestly, I don't think it was better than his first Donda album. But just given all the craziness and stuff he's been doing lately, I didn't know what to expect. I know this album, I think, came out 2-3 years ago, but he never released it like on streaming services. So, but still, it's Kanye. I didn't know what to expect. But like I said, I enjoyed it. I was surprised by it. Just the Kanye that, you know, he needs to stay in that lane. Like, that man is a musical genius. He can rap. I don't understand why he needs to do all the other stuff he does. Mm-hmm. But, you know, shout out to Ye. Like I said, I enjoyed Donda 2. I enjoyed the first one. Looking forward to whenever you put out Bully to see what that's going to be about. You know, as long as you don't put that song on Bully, I will be okay. You know, so.
Oh, that song?
Uh-huh. Like I said, that's been on my mind, you know, the past couple days, the Good Ye album. They finally released a video to my song, Lullaby by J. Don and Paradise. So if you guys enjoy that song, go check it out. Tory Lanez keep dropping new music every week from prison. I don't know how this guy doing it. Shout out to my boy Tory. Yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, and shout out to the wrestling fans. For you guys who don't know, there was this wrestler named R-Truth that got released from his contract, and us fans kept, you know, hijacking shows, and their Twitters and their Instagrams kept saying we want Truth, you know, and they brought him back. So the guy got his job back, and, you know, kudos to WWE for listening to us fans. So good job. So now it's time to move that spotlight over from moi over to Steph for Steph's spotlight.
Yay. All right, well, I actually had a hard time this week deciding what I wanted to put my spotlight on. I don't have as much as you do this week, but there's one person that has stood out to me lately, and that's Young Gravy. I've been seeing him all over TikTok, and I just get this really good vibe from him that he's a good human being. He's actually selecting fans to send money to like cover bills and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And he's mostly selecting like single moms that can really use the help, and like paying their bills for the month, or like donating to like GoFundMe's, like parents who have, you know, kids in the hospital and stuff, and they have to take time off work and everything, and he'll like fulfill the GoFundMe goal.
That's
and
awesome.
Everything. He's been doing that lately, so I think that's really cool. I get good vibes from him. So shout out to Young Gravy for being awesome.
Good old Young Graves.
I never really paid much attention to him before, but he's been on my FYP on TikTok a lot lately for that stuff. So, yeah, shout out to him. That's really cool. I think it's cool that he's selecting fans that could really use the help and genuinely appreciate it and not just kind of picking people at random and, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's awesome.
It is, though. Like, that is amazing when people can do stuff like that.
The fact that he actually takes the time to, like, learn their story and actually recognize that, you know, like, hey, these people would actually appreciate it if they got the extra help.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that's awesome.
Yep. And so for our viewers out there, our listeners out there, if you guys want to comment on any, you know, your heartthrobs or people you thought were hot,
people you got make fun of for liking, like, you know, me and Jack Osborne.
Yep. Some of your favorite celebrity couples or anything to that degree, you know, leave them down in the comments. I'll be interested to see some of your answers. So, yeah, you know, there's no wrong answer. Like, I mean, if you find somebody hot or whatever and others don't, that's fine. Like,
we want to know.
Yeah, you know, that's what makes people unique. Everybody's not going to have the same answer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's enough people out there for everybody. So, you know, it's one of those things I feel like, it's kind of like an everyday life kind of situation. Like, everybody shouldn't like the same thing when it comes to anything in life, whether it's food, music, you know, significant like people or anything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what makes us all unique as humans.
We're all about the individuality and the self-expression on this podcast, so we don't judge.
No, not at all.
Unless you're gonna write a song like Kanye wrote, and then we're gonna kind of, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So, keeping on theme of the whole heartthrobs and hotties and all that good jazz.
Mm-hmm.
We compiled a list of our top 5 celebrity couples.
We each did.
And
then we want to know yours, too.
Yep. So, this is in no particular order either.
Okay.
Well, not for me. I don't know about for her, but mine isn't.
All right, you go first.
I'm going to go with Usher and Chili. Oh, and by the way, some of these couples aren't together anymore, obviously.
Just throughout pop culture history.
Yeah.
Who we liked together.
Or yeah.
Who we still do if they're still together.
I know I always thought those two were, you know, nice looking couple.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I still do enjoy Usher's music. I'm a big TLC person. So I thought when them two were together, it was amazing. You know, stuff happens in relationships and, you know, stuff happens. So at least I found more comfort when Usher released his album Confessions. And I thought that song was about, you know, him and Chili's situation. But come to find out, it actually wasn't. It was something that happened with the producer Jermaine Dupri, who wrote the song, and not Usher. So I was like, okay, good. Like, I don't have to look at Usher in a different light now, you know? So, like I said, them two I really enjoyed as a couple. John Mayer and Katy Perry.
Okay.
Yep. That was, I thought them two together they were something. They were
short-lived, but they had a lot of chemistry.
They did. I thought them two, like, you put them on a poster or something together, I was just like, wow, this is some good stuff here. You know, wish it would have lasted a little longer, but hey, you know, Swiss Beats and Alicia Keys.
That's catchy.
Them two are still together, married. You know, shout out to them. You know, they are... Swiss Beats is one of the all-time great hip-hop producers. With DMX and the Rough Riders and all of them. And I know on our one episode we gave Alicia Keys a lot of slack. But you know, we're not talking about them musically, it's just as a couple. I enjoy them two as a couple. Like, they always just look so happy, and I don't never hear no craziness about them like I do some other couples. So shout out to them too. Ashton Kutcher and Mia Kunis.
Mm-hmm.
I heard about them like being together, but I didn't know that they were still together. I really didn't. Like, when I was writing my list and doing research, I was like, what? Like, they're married now? Like, I didn't know that.
You didn't?
No, like, I don't really hear a lot about them no more. Like, you know, they stay
kind of quiet nowadays.
You know, so, like, I enjoyed both of them on the show when they worked together.
Mm-hmm.
So when they finally got together as a couple, I was like, okay, this is good right here. So I'm happy to see that they still together. And the last one I got is a couple that broke up for a period of time and recently got back together, had a child, got married. You know, Nelly and Ashanti. I was so... You know, that is one story there that I was always intrigued about. And it's like the stories that you hear from other people kind of makes it like some kind of big, like, superstition kind of thing. And the fact that Nelly, like, went back to try to get Ashanti again, like, he knew what he wanted. Like, he knew, like, she's the one I want to be with. Like, and I remember they had this thing called Versus that Swiss Beats and Timberland put on.
Mm-hmm.
And they were doing a Versus. It was Fat Joe and Ja Rule. And Ashanti was there, obviously, because she had songs with both. And Nelly was there. And I remember... when Nelly, like, literally walked all the way across the stage to the other side to go hug Ashanti. And I was just like, oh man, like, he's, you know. And he said it himself, though, like, he went over there to kind of feel the temperature with her to see if there was that chance. And like I said, obviously it worked out for him. And like I said, I'm excited for him. You know, I enjoy both of them people music, you know. So I hope they stay on the path they on now. Everything works out. So shout out to Nelly and Ashanti. And let's move on to your couples.
Wow, okay. I wasn't going to go in depth with mine, but that was pretty good. All right, well... Ironically enough, so this is my list isn't in any particular order either. But because you brought your first two up first, ironically enough, I have Matt Lawrence and Chili.
Yeah,
awkward, but
that's a very good couple.
I think that they are just adorable together.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they just genuinely love and adore each other, and they just look really happy.
They do.
Every video they make together, they just look like they're having so much fun. Like, they're at the point in their lives where they just want just a comfortable, like, laid back, like, relaxed type of relationship, I guess. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Not like a high profile one. Like, they just want to stay, like, low key and just vibe together. Probably, well, actually, I have two, like, really iconic couples on this list that have been together forever. The first is Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell.
Okay.
They've been together, I mean, and, you know, Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson. Those are Goldie Hawn's kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I mean, the whole family is just kind of iconic. Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell.
Yeah.
I absolutely love them together. I know Dax has had his struggles with, you know, alcohol, and stuff. And they, you know, Kristen stuck through it with him, and, you know, they're married and they have kids and they have, you know, a good, solid foundation together. Also, shout out to Dax for getting me into podcasts in the first place, because I never really even paid attention to podcasts before, and then I started listening to Armchair Expert about 4 or 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, this is actually, you know, really cool. I would always just listen to music, but then, you know, I started listening to Armchair Expert just because I like Dax, and I was like, hey, this podcast thing is actually really awesome, you know, getting to learn about, like, celebrities' lives and stuff, like getting to know them as people, and not just the work that they do. So shout out to him for that too. Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman. I love them together. I know they're kind of, you know, may seem like a oddball choice, but not really though. I mean, they've been together a long time, and I love the fact that when they were filming Matilda, and Mara Wilson's mother was in the hospital with cancer, and they actually took Rhea Perlman and Danny DeVito took her in. She stayed with them, and when her mother was getting to like the end of her life, Danny DeVito made sure that her mother got a hold of an advanced copy of Matilda before it was released.
Okay.
So she could watch the movie before she passed away.
That's awesome.
I remember hearing that story. I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then to wrap everything up on my list, Elvis and Priscilla.
Okay.
Kind of a controversial couple back in the day. Nowadays, that would probably not go over very well because she was so young.
Mm-hmm.
But he did make her wait to take certain steps in the relationship. So, I mean, that obviously, you know, counts for something. But no, that's yeah. Yeah. I'm going to leave it at that. But no, Elvis and Priscilla.
Okay.
I just feel like they're, you know, yeah. I could say so much more, but I'm not. That's going to get into some touchy things that I'm just not going to go over. So I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Their names together speak for itself.
Mm-hmm. And I do want to throw out an honorable mention to Joey, Lawrence, and Samantha.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm happy that they worked everything out. They got back together, and they look happier now than what they did before.
I think so too.
So big up to Joey and Sam. So I'm gonna throw you a curveball. This is something we didn't talk about doing today.
Okay. Oh.
But I mean, it's still like a top thing, but it's still staying on theme of the show.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to do, it's gonna be different. If you had to do your Mount Rushmore of Heartthrobs, what 4 guys would you put on there?
Like currently still, or
no,
are we talking about like nostalgic purposes, or just overall?
Overall.
Ooh, okay. Well, probably. Well, I mean, definitely Zach Hansen, Joshua Jackson. Probably Ryder Strong, and then Matt Lawrence.
Okay. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
How about you? With your Mount Rushmore of hotties.
Carrie Underwood, of course. After that, oh boy. See, I try to put you on the spot, and I'm sitting here going, I got to think about it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I
see Carrie Underwood. I would say Selma Hayek, for sure. I would say Sabrina Carpenter.
Okay.
And,
see, I knew you liked her. You were like, oh no, I just like this album.
And Janet Jackson.
Okay.
Yup. You know what? No, I'm gonna take Sabrina out, and I'm gonna throw Kelly in there from wrestling. Yeah. Yep. So there we go. Carrie Underwood, Kelly, Janet Jackson, Selma Hayek. Yep. I like that.
All right.
Yep.
Sounds good. Cool. I think this is the first time we've ever did like a top 5 and a Mount Rushmore.
It is.
That's cool. I like it.
Yep. Well, all right, guys. We appreciate you guys watching.
Thank you for being here.
Any feedback or comments or, anything you want to say about any of the topics we discussed today, leave down in the comment bar. We'll be excited to read it. Stay tuned for next week's episode. And, just to keep you guys in the loop, like we've talked about maybe stop doing the audio on Spotify. We're not for sure yet.
At least to pause with the production equipment we currently have, which is like beginner level. It's just kind of tough to do the audio and the video right now. As things progress and move forward, and we can advance our equipment, then we can always pick audio back up.
Yeah.
And do both later on, but for now it's probably just going to be here on YouTube on video.
Yeah. Like I said, it's last week episode we did upload to Spotify and it's on iHeart. So like I said, it's just something we've talked about. So if you been looking for audio, like I said, last week's is on there. This week, moving forward, we might not put audio on there. So we just wanted to give you guys a heads up of where we was headed and what we've been thinking about. But we appreciate everybody. It's gonna be a journey, but it's fun. I appreciate the feedback that I get, at work and stuff like that about the show. So I appreciate everybody. We appreciate everybody. Just stick with us and, let's grow together.
It'll be fun a year from now to look back and and see the difference.
Heck yeah.
The progress. Yeah.
So I'm your boy Grant, aka G2 Crispy, aka Midnight Black, aka 11:59 p.m., aka Stevie Wonder sees me all the time.
And I'm Stephanie.
We gotta get her some nicknames, people. We'll catch y'all.
Go. Comment down below what kind of nickname I should give myself. Be nice though.
Yeah.
Be nice, but no, what? Yeah.
All right.
I'm open to suggestions. I don't have a nickname.
All right, guys. Catch y'all next week.
Bye, guys.
Peace.